Hey, what's going on, guys? Dom here. In this video, I'll be sharing my experience of the brand new Oculus Quest 2 and deciding whether or not you should get one. This is everything I noticed when using the headset. I have laid out these segments to cover every aspect of the Oculus Quest 2. So, let's not waste any more time and get straight into the video. The build has its upgrades and its downgrades. It is slightly smaller and lighter than the Quest 1. The strap is pretty uncomfortable for me. It cuts into my ears too much. I'd highly recommend a better strap. If you want me to do a video on straps to buy, let me know down in the comments. Next, the light leakage is pretty bad around the nose, even worse than the Quest 1. To have a better experience, you should definitely get a silicone face cover to wear when playing. Not only is it sweat-proof, but it also has flaps that fit the nose, and it blocks most, if not all, of the light. The battery life is the same as the Quest 1. I don't play for more than 30 minutes at a time, so this hasn't been a problem for me, unless I have no access to a charger. If you find yourself running out of battery frequently, get a battery pack to mount on the back of the headset. This technique also acts as a counterbalance to the headset, and it makes it a bit more comfortable. But overall, I'd say the build is still okay. It can be drastically improved with a small investment in better accessories. On Amazon, you shouldn't spend more than $50. I'll throw some links in the description for everything I just mentioned. I will not be including the Elite strap because it has been retracted from the Oculus website at the time of recording. For those of you who don't know about it, they have had a pretty common problem of breaking, and they decided to retract it and fix the problem. Another reason is that it is very expensive, and you can get away with spending much less if you do your research. Anyway, let's move on. The setup process was not too long for me. It took me about 20 to 30 minutes before I was downloading games, but for someone starting completely from scratch, I wouldn't expect it to take more than an hour. There is one thing, though, and probably the most controversial decision of this headset, and it's that the requirement for a Facebook account. Yep, you gotta get Facebook if you want a Quest 2. It sucks, but either you choose to deal with it or to not get the headset at all. For those who already have one, this is not a problem. I found the built-in sound to be slightly better, but the audio is still not very good. Most of the high-end PC VR headsets on the market have much better audio. Although we have a headphone jack, so normal headphones can be used, unlike last year. The hardware is a huge improvement. Games run a lot smoother, even those that have not been optimized for the Quest 2 just yet. I would occasionally encounter a lag spike every once in a while on the Quest 1, but they are a thing of the past on the Quest 2. The biggest improvement I've noticed so far is lighting. Optimized games have so much better lighting and reflections than the Quest 1. Real-time scopes are also possible now. The Snapdragon XR2, the chip used in the Quest 2, is designed specifically for VR and AR, and it shows. The graphics are a big improvement as well. The resolution makes the visuals sharper. This improvement makes the screen door effect a thing of the past. This basically means you can see the grid lines between the pixels. It makes it look like you're looking through a screen door when using the headset. The Quest 2's resolution improvement almost completely rids of it. The higher refresh rate makes optimized games slightly smoother, although it's not a huge improvement. It is still a little bit noticeable. The blacks are not as deep as the Quest 1 because of the LCD display. The Quest 1 had an OLED screen, which can completely turn off individual pixels when they are showing black. The LCD screen can only produce a very dark gray. It isn't visible in screen recordings, but it is when you put the headset on. As a Quest 1 user, I got used to it pretty quickly, and it wasn't a big problem. The IPD adjustment is the only major downside in the graphics. Instead of the slider on the Quest 1, we got 3 different presets that don't allow for very much in between. I didn't get to experience the full clarity of the display because my IPD is 60mm, which puts me right in between the first 2 settings. The first one is 58mm, the second one is 63, and the third one is 68. Overall, the graphics are still a big improvement though. The controllers are probably the biggest upgrade for the Quest 2. They got a complete redesign and they are now much more ergonomic. They fit my hand a lot better. They are also bigger and lighter. I think the comfort and weight has allowed for a better immersion. I haven't had a single tracking issue yet. It works just as awesome as the Quest 1. Also, the battery lasts an eternity. I would usually have to switch my Quest 1's batteries after 10 hours of gameplay. However, on the Quest 2 controllers, they're still on 4 dots after 8 hours of use. This is an insane improvement, although I'd still recommend rechargeable batteries because you'll save a lot of money in the long run. The controllers are 100 times better than the Quest 1. Some other additional features are pretty solid as well. Hand tracking still works almost flawlessly, but the number of apps that support it are in the single digits. Yes, I didn't just say games, I said apps. Guardian is still great, and parties and home menu are just as user-friendly as they were on the Quest 1. One new feature is the double tap to pass through, which allows you to see the real world from the headset. So if someone walks into the room, you double tap on your headset, and you can see them. I have found this extremely useful, and I've used it quite a bit. You have to go to settings to turn on the shortcut. When you become more familiar with the headset, I'd highly recommend taking a few minutes to poke around the experimental settings of the headset and seeing what they do. There are some hidden gems in there. So, let's sum up this review. Before we go through everything, I will say that it is pretty obvious what parts they cheaped out on in order to meet that $300 price point. Although, accessories can solve most of these issues. The build has its upsides and downsides, but with some better accessories, you can have longer sessions. Setup was smooth, but for some people who don't want to get a Facebook account, they won't buy the headset at all. Audio is still pretty meh, but at least normal headphones are compatible. The processor and graphics are a big leap. It handled intense games pretty well, even while recording. However, the IPD adjustment is a noticeable step down. The controllers are arguably the best upgrade. They are so much better. There are a couple new features, and the previous ones work just as good. If anyone from Oculus somehow sees this, here are some improvements that can make the experience a lot better. A better stock strap and audio solution would be amazing. The current ones are lacking. Better battery life would please many people who chew through their battery pretty quickly. A manual IPD slider like the Quest 1 would help the people between the different presets like myself. Flaps around the nose are a small investment that could go a long way, blocking light out from the real world and making a better immersion. So, here's my final verdict. If you want to get into VR and don't care to get a Facebook account, definitely get this headset. The upgrade is even justified from Quest 1 to Quest 2. The resale value of the Quest 1 on eBay is about $200, but that could plummet soon. So if you're willing to go through the selling process and spend an extra bit of money, it's worthwhile. This headset could also work as a PC VR upgrade for older headsets. It can even be used wirelessly with virtual desktop. The upgrade from PlayStation VR to Oculus Quest is also pretty significant and worth the money. I think that this is the VR headset for most people. The only people who should not get this headset are those who do not like Facebook. I completely understand why, but I was willing to accept that trade-off. For those of you who are the same way, this headset is for you. I believe that this is the biggest step taken so far to making VR mainstream. VR is the future of gaming, and this headset is a big step in that direction. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, why not drop a like? I make VR content a few times a week, so subscribe if you want more of that. Also check out my Discord and Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.